Hi guys, so in today's video I'm going to talk about and show you the most Instagrammable places in Istanbul. These are the best areas, streets, cafes, rooftops, viewpoints in the center of Istanbul from which you'll be able to take the best pictures of yourself for your Instagram feed, but also photography shots. I am going to be talking about both European and Asian side in today's video. I had to narrow my choices down, which means that most of them are going to be on the European side. European side is more touristic. I think it's visually more impressive. That's not to say the Asian side isn't worth visiting, because it is. Asian side is also lovely. However, when we want to narrow it down, I do find that European side offers more diversity and more impressive locations. I'm sure if you have done any research about Istanbul, if you have looked at any travel guides, you would already be very familiar with the Galata Tower. It's a very historical place here for Istanbul. It's also based in one of the busiest, in one of the most famous areas of Istanbul, and you can take really lovely pictures there from the bottom and from the top. So you get a bit of both. I would say though, Galata Tower is very busy around the tower and on top of the tower, which makes taking pictures there very hard. If you don't want any people in your pictures, I would suggest going there early in the morning, and same goes with going on top. For headshots it was fine. Full body picture, impossible pretty much in Galata Tower. Also your space is quite limited because the observation deck at the top is really quite tight. It costs about 175 Turkish liras to go on top of the tower, but the views are definitely worth it, and it's also like a little museum. Then we have a very colorful district at the European side of Istanbul called Balat. I am going to be going to Balat today, so I'm not going to touch much on this video. I'm just going to insert some clips from Balat now. Okay, so after a relatively long bus journey, we are in Balat. Oh. So far, I was worried that this place was a myth, because, you know, I went through a few things that were marked on Google Maps as Balat colorful buildings, but I think we finally got here. I regret not bringing my tripod with me because there's actually a lot less people here than I expected. I think this area is definitely not touristy. Right now there are some locals here, but before, when I got here, there was nobody, just locals, no tourists. I suppose like there are no other major attractions here. It's so funny. Look. Not real laundry, they're foam pillows, just for decoration to add to the colorfulness of this district. I'll go back where we came from. I just wanted to see if there was more to it, but now the more I'm looking around, the more I realize that actually it's just that small corner there. And maybe here it's a bit funny with this laundry, but in general, yes, this is nice. If you want to get a nice picture from Istanbul, sure, come here. But it is a little out of the way to make it worth it if your stay is very short. So if you stay here for like a week and you really care about pictures, come here. Otherwise, skip on this one and go to some of my other recommendations. I feel like I'm the only foreigner on this street, really. If you want a slightly less busy version of Balat, or if you are waiting for something from the Asian side, not the European side, I have a recommendation called Kuzguncuk. It's the district Esap Evle. I'm sorry for my pronunciation. It's once again a very colorful, Instagrammable spot. These two places, it's kind of like the same area at the Asian side. The area perfect for Instagram, for your pictures next to cafes, next to quirky little buildings, colorful streets. Yes, this is my best recommendation at the Asian side that I was able to find, that I was recommended. It's less touristy, so actually it's easier to go there with a tripod and take some pictures. I was exploring it on my own and I tried to take some pictures with a tripod. It was possible, but you still have to wait quite a while for people to, you know, take their own pictures and then it can be your go. However, that place is definitely not as popular with foreign tourists. I feel like it's mostly the Turkish people that go there to take pictures, which does make it more accessible. Very Instagrammable place, you guys. I had to spend ages. I have my tripod, I'm on my own right now, and I had to spend ages trying to wait for a gap to be able to film here. But I've noticed it's a lot of locals here, so I think this is, you know, this place is on the Asian side of Istanbul, so it's not as touristy to begin with, and also this time of year it's also not as touristy, I suppose, so we can't really compare, but I can see a lot of locals coming here to take their Instagram pics. I think that's enough of Instagram here. Let's go and check out some other places. It's quite chilly, my hands are frozen, but the view are definitely worth it. One interesting fact that I didn't know, there are 3 bridges going through the center here of Istanbul. You can see one of them right here, but you can't walk on any of them. So it was overall a really lovely, cozy and colorful experience. Very good one. Then we have the Grand Bazaar. Here you definitely need to come with someone to take nice pictures of you. You don't even want to try a tripod because it's way too busy, way too hectic, and people also get a bit annoyed about tourists taking pictures in their shops, because essentially Grand Bazaar is a place full of shops, but some of them sell the famous carpets or the famous lanterns and lamps. I can show you some examples of pictures from Grand Bazaar right now. I will be going there today also, so I'm going to take you along. However, I know that people who work there have become increasingly frustrated with the amount of people that would go inside their shops, take pictures without buying anything. It made many businesses actually go bust and just not be able to sustain themselves. At the end of the day, it's not like a building, it's not like a viewpoint, it's somebody's shop where people are trying to make a living. So yeah, if you want to get some pictures there, I would recommend buying something whilst you're there in that specific shop that you are taking your pictures from.
Bademler var. Tiramisu badem, nar badem, normal badem, kahveli var. Karamelli, fındıklı, mor.
And do you have a favorite? That looks like a sausage.
Yeah, there are a lot of them. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I haven't tried like each of them. There are a lot.
So that's for the tea, yeah?
This for the tea. But this
Wow,
is like,
I love
those are
this.
like very fancy ones. Like I
Very
haven't
fancy.
seen them. Like it's not very typical.
Imagine
But, like,
having guests over and bringing that to the table.
Yeah, you will tell them it's gold.
Yeah, that's what my host has, like something like this.
Yeah, usually it's something like this without anything, you know, without anything.
Family business. I'm third generation. Nice. I studied public management. It's boring.
Your grandfather with the
Yeah.
people you do business over.
Yeah. This one. This is now. This is the latest photo.
And who are these ladies, you know?
Friends.
Friends.
Customers, but we call friends. Visiting us like 50, 60 years. Unique and valuable.
Yeah.
Not expensive. Valuable.
So
That's
I
why.
perceive you get a lot of tourists coming here and they will be interested but they wouldn't buy because
Young generation not so much.
yeah.
There are people who are interested about this. Still, if we continue this, that's okay. We are happy.
And I'm glad you enjoy it. I'm glad you enjoy this place and working here and
It's nice that you like it.
Yeah, I love it really. So this is the first time for me in Turkey, so I'd love to learn more about the culture and the traditions.
Yeah.
You know, because it's too modernized now. I prefer something that has more history to it and more character than the modern things.
So these are classic,
Yeah.
and we have modern types like Turkish silk. This is Memlük design,
Yeah.
but we modernize the colors. Ottoman time, Ottoman, Memlük, that time, Memlük.
When we think about Istanbul and we think about Instagram, we see these pictures from the rooftop cafes and restaurants with seagulls in the background, with the sea bridge. If you Google any travel guides, you are most likely to come across these thumbnails. And that's because they're clickable, these pictures are very bright, vibrant, colorful. And also I feel like people are clicking on these videos just because they want to get to these locations and also take nice pictures of themselves there. Don't get me wrong, I definitely feel like traveling somewhere just to take nice pictures is doing it for all the wrong reasons. You know, I'm doing couch surfing right now. Currently I'm staying with the European hosts. I'm socializing with Turkish people every single day, and that is by far the best thing that I could have done on this travel. Not to take nice Instagram pictures, but to actually socialize with Turkish people, get to know Turkish culture, Turkish history from the eyes of a local, you know. So that's what I've been doing, and that's what I think you should definitely be doing also if you come to Istanbul. However, I also know that you may want to go and explore and take nice pictures, and for those times this guide is especially for you. So when we think about these rooftop cafes with seagulls in the background, with a sea bridge, there's going to be one street specifically that offers a few of these different cafes and restaurants where you can take these kinds of pictures. And I'm going to run you through the 3 places that I found possibly the best, but very different, 3 very different options at this one street. And it has a few of the different cafes and photography studios also. Now this is important because this will give you a different type of experience for different budgets. Many of the times when you see these pictures on Instagram, they are photoshopped and taken by professional photographers at this street. And the most popular place to do so is called Taht Istanbul. Taht Istanbul is a photography studio that has a rooftop with this view, with props, with dresses that you could rent, with special photographers. And They will even Photoshop seagulls in your pictures in case there are no seagulls around. But they don't only offer this view, they actually have a studio full of different views. For example, the lamps and lanterns. However, one sad thing about Taht Istanbul is the fact that it once used to be a very budget-friendly option. And if you are watching a travel guide from a few months ago, you may think that you can just turn up to Taht Istanbul and pay maybe like 10 euros, take your own pictures with your friend. You'll be able to take pictures of each other with your phone or with your own camera, and that will be it. But sadly, about 4 months ago, Taht Istanbul changed the rules, and now you're not allowed to go there and take your own pictures. You have to book in advance and you have to hire a special photographer, which gets expensive. It's definitely not a budget option. And I had a Turkish friend with me, you know, who was speaking the local language and was trying to convince the people at Taht Istanbul really hard for us, so then we could pay and take some pictures at the rooftop, but they said no. Now you can only hire a special photographer. The cheapest package is 40 euros, I think. Wait, let me check. Yes, the cheapest package is actually, I'm looking at my phone because yesterday I was there and I have taken a picture. So the cheapest package is 40 euros. If you want to get pictures at 7 locations in the studio, then that's 60 euros, and that's per person. So you can't even split with your friends and get like 50-50. But then the cost starts to build up. If you want to rent some props, if you want to rent a dress, you know, those long traditional dresses, if you want to rent one of those, it's 30 euros for one shoot per rental. I think it's quite expensive. Also, if you want to shoot outdoors, not in the studio behind the glass wall, then that's between 100 to 400 euros. So actually that option is great for somebody who really cares about getting professional pictures done, but you have to book in advance, at least a few days in advance, the lady there said. But for people who are just more low-key and just want to get some nice pictures for their Instagram without spending a fortune, I would really recommend you to go to some of the cafes based on the same street. Nova Santiye Café, very popular spot for these pictures. I'm going to go there today and I'll let you know how it is as soon as I go there. And there's also a beautiful place that I went to yesterday called Kasr-ı Sefa. Kasr-ı Sefa? Not sure. I'll leave the name right here. It's affordable. There are no crowds. When I went, we were quite suspicious, me and my Turkish friend. We felt like we were going to get scammed initially when we went there because there was no one there. But then we realized we were just very lucky because this place is relatively new. It's only been open for a few months. And people just don't know about it. It's not as famous, but it also offers this beautiful picturesque view. Perhaps there's more that they could have done with it, you know. There are no props there, and the sitting area is not as nice, I want to say, for pictures, but I can definitely play around with it and you can come up with some beautiful, nice pictures, and you can just get a drink there. There are no crowds there, like I said, so it's very easy to just go in there, take your pictures, and I feel like this place will get more popular as more people discover it. But if you want a hidden gem, as of right now, this Kasr-ı Sefa place is a gem, and you can get some fantastic pictures for very cheap. They're like, you don't have to pay for taking pictures, you just pay for whatever you want to order, whether that's a drink, dessert, food. It has really good reviews on Google Maps also.
In Turkey.
No one here, especially at the outside, that like it's completely empty. And I believe this place is new, so that could be partly the reason why there's nobody here. But at the same time, you guys, if you come to Istanbul, I feel like this is a must place to visit for taking pictures and just for having a nice dinner and a nice evening. The prices here are very reasonable. You can get all kinds of dishes and just a nice vibe here. And other than that, of course, you have all the big tourist attractions, but those you can find in any travel guide. So in today's video, I wanted to focus more on the places that mostly don't come as the top searches when it comes to places to see. They are more for taking pictures specifically. But that is it, you guys. I hope you liked this video and I hope you found it helpful. If you would like to see more videos from Istanbul, and if you have any questions, please leave your recommendations and ideas down below. Please like this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to me if you're not already for more of my travel content, and I will see you again in my next one. Bye!